Key milestone. Glowing example: William teams up with frontier forces cracking down on wildlife trade. Remember when Prince called for leaders to go extra mile, as Biden says seize the moment. But hoped for landmark new agreement fade. Prince William has urged world leaders to make the impossible possible as they engaged in last-ditch talks to strike a landmark COP26 deal. The Duke of Cambridge stressed the need for people to think differently if the battle against global warming is to be put on the path to victory within a decade. He spoke at the Climate Change Summit in Glasgow the day after the Queen's powerful intervention, in which she called on world leaders to act for our children and our children's children. As hopes were dwindling of a historic COP26 agreement, the Duke delivered a speech challenging world leaders to go further in their efforts to stop catastrophic floods, fires and heat waves. If we are to achieve our goal to repair our planet in what is now less than a decade, it is our shared responsibility to continue thinking differently, acting boldly, and making the impossible possible, he said. Boris Johnson trumpeted landmark action which aimed to end deforestation by 2030. More than 100 world leaders were signing up to the agreement, covering 85% of the world's forests, including in Canada, Russia, Brazil, Colombia, Indonesia and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which aims to halt and reverse deforestation and land degradation by 2030. Recently, William visits Microsoft UK office to explore how to combat illegal wildlife trade. Prince William has explored how airports are attempting to stamp out the smuggling of illegal wildlife products with new scanning technology. The Duke of Cambridge, 39, visited Microsoft's offices in Reading today to speak with developers behind the Seeker technology that can detect ivory hidden in suitcases with 70% accuracy. Heathrow Chief Executive John Holland-Kaye said it was becoming too dangerous for wildlife traffickers to try smuggling through the airport. But he warned that until the AI technology could be rolled out to other airports, the problem would move elsewhere. Mr. Holland-Kaye said, "At the moment we can pick up 70 to 80% of the dense materials, such as ivory. Some of the less dense materials, we are down at 30 to 40%. But that will improve. That will close down Heathrow as a channel for smuggling of endangered species. But it will go elsewhere." Prince William was also shown a range of items seized at the airport, including a turtle shell backpack and a polar bear skin rug. Guy Clark, a Border Force official working with the CITES, the International Agreement on Endangered Species, team at Heathrow, showed the Duke rhino horns and hippo teeth. William, the founder of the Royal Foundation's United for Wildlife, spoke via video link to South African Ranger Anton Mzimba, who told him how poaching was heavily involved with organized crime. Anton, from the Timbavati Private Nature Reserve, said, "This is a very well-organized crime. It involves local people. But down the line, it goes across the border of the country." Prince William asked, "What has been the effect of the pandemic on poaching, and on funding for you guys? Was there a spike in poaching?" Anton replied, "Poaching went down during lockdown, but it picked up when lockdown restrictions were lifted gradually." Claire Barkley, Chief Executive Officer at Microsoft UK, said, "The untapped potential of AI and machine learning can help solve some of the world's most complex environmental challenges. Our first-of-its-kind multi-species AI model Seeker can help tackle the wildlife trafficking trade, while protecting animal ecosystems. The importance of collaboration and partnership with more organizations couldn't be greater as we look to protect the environment and the world's most endangered species." With COP26 having recently concluded in Glasgow, the eyes of the world are on environmental issues. Reports have announced a code red for our planet, while the UN Biodiversity Conference, 15 Colombian pesos, highlighted the alarming rate of species loss. Wildlife conservation does not enter this narrative as often as it should. The preservation of wildlife is often seen as a nice-to-have. Centuries of the overriding misconception that humanity is entirely disconnected from nature has left conservation as largely the domain of non-profits and philanthropists.